Hey, it's Brian Therien. You are about to listen to the replay of our October 12th webinar. Thanks for all that contributed. We covered three major sections, and depending on where you're looking at this, you might be looking at this the full replay or one of the three different segments of it. So what we covered is how much money you can make and keep your benefits, reliable way to work, the difference in type of income that's countable towards the allowed amount. So that's one section. We released 7 brand new ways to help you survive. Things like getting assistance with your utilities, getting new phones, getting medical assistance, legal assistance, all new, fantastic stuff. Then the major section that we covered is how to understand what you're entitled to for benefits and to compare those benefits to benefits that are available. The new 2022 benefits are available out there. So there's great information in there. It's something that we have never done before, is to go through step by step by step to show you like what plan you're on, what you're entitled to, how that lines up, how you might be paying for things that you don't need to be paying for, and how to find out what other benefits that you're entitled to. So I hope you enjoy the show. Make it a great day. This has been Brian Therien. Look below for the different segments of the replay. Thanks. On with the show. First of all, is there anybody out there that's kind of confused about like what the regulations are about how much money you can make and keep your benefits? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see some people raising their hand. You know, it's confusing for so many people. It's probably the most commonly asked question that we receive here. And it's actually pretty simple once you kind of get to the bottom of it. But what makes it confusing is there's 2 different amounts that Social Security has. There's one amount that you can earn while you're going through the disability approval process. And then once you're approved, there's another amount. And to complicate this, if you were to call Social Security, which maybe many of you have, and ask what the amount is, you might get one or the other, or you might get a third, who knows? So here's how it works. And this is a replay that's going to be sent around to everybody. And there is a regulation that Social Security publishes, and it's the regulation that is what I go by. So if you, and I know some people are not approved that are here today, and I'm going to give you some tips at the end, but most of this event is for those of you that are already on benefits. So, but if you are going through the disability approval process on this link right here, it will show you that you can earn, as of right now, $1,310 a month and still apply for disability. All right? Doesn't mean you can get approved. Those cases are very difficult to get approved. Once you're approved, they change the rules. Imagine that. So once you're approved, as of this year right now, it's $940 a month, right? Anybody out there working or own your own small business? No?
Yeah.
Maybe you are and you don't want to admit it. I get it. So I want to speak to the $940 because the $940 is the amount that would apply to you if you're working a job and you're getting a paycheck. Then it's $940 is your gross amount. If you have your own business, or you like John and he's mowing lawns, or Sally who's pet sitting, or you're doing other things that are your own business, your $940 is the amount that after your expenses have been removed from your income. So if you make $10,000 gross in a year, but after you take your cell phone out, your travel, your supplies and all that, it's $8,000, then it's only $8,000. And it's based on the amount that you file on your taxes. So for people that are interested in working, if you look at the difference, it might be more difficult to start something on your own, finding the concept and things to do. But in many ways, it's advantageous from the income because you can write off a lot of expenses that you already incur. Plus, people, most of our audience here, are here with limitations and disabilities, and it's oftentimes the disability that dictates your schedule. And so having the ability to control that is, is often favorable, has the highest chances of success. All right, so any questions on money, earning money? If so, unmute yourself. You guys are doing great, by the way, for keeping the noise down. No? All
Yeah,
right.
I presume these figures are just things you get from a job. Like it wouldn't be from your past investments and things like that. Is that accurate?
That's a great question. Okay, so that is correct. So income that is defined and countable income towards these amounts is income that you actually work for. So
That's sweet.
if you work 15 hours
That's
a
very
week
nice of you.
and you're earning X amount of dollars, then that counts. If you have investments or real estate that generates income or insurance commissions, that's passive income. It doesn't count. So for people that are looking to do something on their own, one of the things that we do here is we teach people how to work with us as insurance agents because the passive income from insurance income doesn't count towards the SGA. It's just the first year commission. Great question. Thank you. Any others on this topic?
Yeah.
What
What if
happened? Oops, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
what if I am out on long-term disability through my job?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any issues with that?
No, that's unearned income.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Work comp, unearned income. What's another one? Unemployment. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Was there another question?
What about
I
if
have
you
one.
win a sweepstakes? Would that be entered into your income?
I got to go with no. I mean, you didn't work for it, right? You went and bought a
No.
ticket.
Right.
I'd say congratulations is in order. Hopefully it was a lot because if it was an issue, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
I have a question,
Yes.
and it may be on this link. What about the sole proprietor self-employment? Is there a limit on how much you can make and
Yeah,
keep your benefits?
so that's the same, it's the same strategy that I just explained. You would take your gross income minus your expenses and stay within the SGA. Now, if you want to go a step further with that and you created a business that was like a corporation and the corporation was collecting the revenue and then you were getting a paycheck from that corporation, that's another way to manage it. Here's where you run into problems, and I've seen people have some challenges. If you have a corporation that's absolutely crushing it, right, and you're the only officer, you're the only person working there, you're going to have a problem. You just have to be realistic about it and stay, reasonably within the guidelines, but you can have a corporation where you're earning your amount and you've got 2 or 3 other people working for you, you're building value. That's totally fine.
Okay, so yeah, in my situation, I get commissions from my team members' sales. So those commissions are passive income, correct?
Without knowing the details, I mean, I know like insurance renewals, if they're similar to that, then I stand by my decision. But if they're different than that, I'm not certain.
Okay, thanks. And you said SGA, so what is that and where is that?
So the SGA is called Substantial Gainful Activity.
Okay.
And that's the amount that if you're going through the approval process, you want to be aware of and stay below. And once you're approved. Okay.
Where they came from.
Okay, couple other points on this. If you're interested in exploring the work possibilities, we've got a wonderful partnership with NTI at Home, where you could work from home, possibly with them. You would be taking commonly on projects where you could take inbound calls, and they work with people that are on disability benefits. So they have shift work, 3-4 hours a day, flexible schedule. They'll train you. Typically you will need your own computer, internet access and that to get started, but many here have been able to obtain a job and start getting paid within 2 weeks. So NTI at Home, that's the link here in 1B, right? The last one is, good part of this business is run by our members. Wealth of experience out there because they've been through what our other members are going through. So we're always looking for new talent. We have a similar setup here. We have shift work. We have different areas of our business that you can work and keep your benefits. All right. Okay. This is new information. Some of it's been released on our YouTube channel. But we have been digging down into different resources to help people survive, is what the title of this is, and look for different ways in which you could pick up some extra benefits, drop things that you're paying for. So this page here has tips, and I'm not going to go through them in detail because I've put, they've been published, and this will be available in the replay. And you can go in and look at individual videos and drill down on them. But some of the key ones are, there's a service called 211. You just dial 211 and you can get assistance, and yeah, you can get
disability and non-disability.
Yeah, you can get help with that. People have even been successful at getting financial assistance from 211. So that's a great resource. Many people don't know about or utilize their county social assistance. That's another one. And you can just type in your county, like if you're in Vermont here, Chittenden County Social Services, and then look at the services that they have that are available. These counties don't advertise, but they oftentimes, for example, if you are looking for, if you would kindly mute your background noise for a moment, I'm going to ask if you take questions at intervals. But they have buckets of money for like low-cost, no-cost treatment options for here in Vermont for like women that have had domestic violence and they've had to be removed from their homes, so different things. So check that out. One of the top ones that we've used and partnered with since we started this is Centers for Independent Living. These are organizations that exist in every nook and cranny throughout the U.S. Like there's 6 in Vermont, and we have a population of 650,000. And they provide services from transportation to networking. Commonly, they have Meals on Wheels. They have great housing counselors to help with housing placement. Here's one that I think everybody should check out called the Emergency Broadband Benefit. If you're on disability benefits, especially if you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible, I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. As a general rule, if your check is below $1,500 and it's the only income that you have and you're not, a sweepstakes winner like the other gentleman was, then you likely qualify for Medicaid. If you do, then you can get a significant reduction in your internet. If you don't have a phone or your phone is on its last leg and you need a new phone, you can apply to get a new phone through EBB. That's a great resource to check out.
Right after the commission.
And Department of Health and Human Services is the last one, where you can get anything from energy assistance for your house, like here in the Northeast, fuel assistance in the South when it's really hot. You can get assistance with getting your air conditioning, electricity bill taken care of. So when the replay comes out, come back in and check out this section. Take advantage of those resources. And I got to give a shout out to my advocate team. There's a team of people that work here, and they worked with me over a period of time to collect some of these top benefits and put them all together in this.
Brian, one of the things that a lot of people don't take advantage of and don't even realize it's out there is help from their area agency on aging.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Which also
is that
helps
connected
with
to
utility
county
assistance and things like that? So
Okay. Is that connected to the county social services?
the area agencies on aging are the services that they provide are provided under the U.S. Older Americans Act.
Okay. Great.
So
Great. So to
And-
find
and-
find your local contact, what would you search on?
you can go to n4a.org and look for they have a little box on their site where you can type in your zip code and it will pull down that information for you.
Okay, n4a.org. All right. Great
Yeah.
tip. Thanks for sharing it.
And I've actually been, even before COVID, for about 4 or 5 years before COVID, my mom and I here in Montebello, we actually run it though for the Calera Senior Adult Center, but we run Meals on Wheels on Wednesdays and have just absolutely fallen in love with our senior adults along our route.
That's great.
So-
Yeah, I had a family member that did that for a while as well. Cool. All right. Appreciate you sharing
And I
that.
know that most of the senior centers, now that they're back opened across the country, are looking actually for drivers for Meals on Wheels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
That's a good volunteer opportunity, huh?
yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. So those are some tips on surviving. Next, we're going to move on to I guess I call it the main event today. Your benefits. I want to first of all talk about who needs to change, what you might be entitled to, and how you're set up. And the reason why I'm doing this is we get an abundance of emails with questions about different Medicare coverage as a result of the bombardment of advertising that's out there. So, first of all,
That is due to the fact that open enrollment starts Friday for
that's right.
Medicare for the year. So
That's right.
that's why everybody's being bombarded right now.
Yep. So this is my position on this and helping individuals from disability benefits, Medicare benefits. They really go hand in hand. Some people don't need to take any action during this peak period of activity, and this is my opinion, and I'll tell you why. If you were just put on a plan for coverage, then likely if the person did their job right or you did your job right, then you might not need, you probably don't need to change. With the exception of maybe there's a new plan in your area that would be beneficial for you. But if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, which is Medicare Part C, you don't have to change. You could change in January. There's an open enrollment period for it that's not as active, and not many people know about it. So that's one. Two is if you are a Medicare and Medicaid recipient. You're eligible for both, which is a lot of our audience here. Then you definitely don't need to change, because you have the ability to change once a quarter because of your Medicaid and Medicare status, right? If you don't know if you're Medicaid, Medicare eligible, which many of you in my experience don't. I just had a call this morning with somebody who's been paying $1,700 a year in Medicare Part B premiums and doesn't need to. Then you should definitely listen up to this. It doesn't matter what state you're in, the guidelines are generally about the same. If your Social Security disability check is below $1,500 and it's the only income, you don't have a spouse that works, and that's your income that you have, then it is likely that you qualify for Medicaid. And the first level of Medicaid, how that would help you is, if you apply for it, is you would not have to pay for your Medicare Part B premium. Medicare Part B premium, Medicare Part A is free. Medicare Part B is not free. It's $148.50, and it'll likely go up in January, right? So just for kind of give me a vibe of what's going on out there, how many of you out there are Medicare and Medicaid eligible, or both, and not paying for Part B? Okay.
I think I'm probably Medicaid eligible. It's just that my dad had such good benefits with Blue Cross and Blue Shield that when I signed up for my Medicare benefits, we didn't sign me up for Medicaid, so.
Okay. Well, the application process is easy. We can send you the directions, but you can just type into Google, apply for Medicaid, and put in your area, and do that. You oftentimes can get started even by the phone. So if you
Or
think,
I can just go to my state Medicaid website, which for Alabama is medicaid.alabama.gov.
yeah, you can do that as well.
And you know, one of the things that the area agencies on aging say through their legal assistance is that in applying for Medicaid, you should also go ahead and get the Medicaid office to help you file for, if you think you qualify for it, to fill out the Medicaid waiver paperwork as well in the process.
All right. Good to know. My understanding is they should do that anyway. But
Yep.
Thanks for sharing that. So here's why I'm going through and teaching this. If you followed our information, we will review your benefits for free and do all that. But there's only so many of us here, and many people don't, for whatever reason, they just maybe want to do this on their own. It's just similar to our disability approval process. We have a Social Security disability approval course. It's free with your membership. After we speak to you and teach you how to use it, we assign it. Thousands have gotten approved and avoided legal fees for years doing this. And it's put together with industry experts. Attorney Carl Osterhow, Attorney John Ginsberg, 64 success stories from our members, Barbara Mountain, who used to work for Social Security. It's all in there. But on this side, for once you're approved, we haven't done it. So this is my effort to give you some tips as to what you can do to move forward and make sure that you are getting every nickel that you're entitled to. So we talked about who needs to change, and the next thing in the step in doing this is that what is it that you're on right now? What do you have for coverage right now? Now, there are few people out there that just have Medicare A and Medicare B. And that's the coverage that they haven't done anything else. Let me just explain that for a minute and where the pros and the cons are to it. The pros are you can go to any doctor, and as many members have, they have several doctors, so that's attractive. The downside is is that if you just stay on Medicare A and B, then 20% of every bill you're responsible for. That might be all right if you don't get many bills or any bills. But if you're like Doris, who was here, who was just on Medicare A and B, she had a diabetic heart attack. She was in the hospital, the ICU for 4 days, and her bill was $86,000. She is responsible now for a $17,000 bill, and she can't get out of it. She can't go back to the hospital that she was treated at because she still owes them money, even if she pays them $20 a month. So that's dangerous. The flexibility of that, you have to be concerned. Then you might see ads about Medigap plans. Well, Medigap plans are you pay a monthly fee and you close that 20% gap. So you might pay as large a fee as possible, maybe $300-400 a month, and it will close the entire 20% gap. Most people here on a fixed income, that $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 a year is just really tough. And in addition to that, there's medical underwriting. And if you have some conditions you can't even get on, rheumatoid arthritis, anything like that, they don't accept you. So Medigap that you see commercials for, you know, for the most part, financially and the medical underwriting make that really not a viable solution. What most people are on is what's called a Medicare Advantage plan, Medicare Part C. And how these work is they are a plan, and I'll pull one up here, that has it has a zero premium, and I'm just looking for my props here, folks. Hang on, I'll be right with you.
On a crime scene, and there are
Okay.
who may have done this. Mr. Vaughn was the only one.
Here's a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare, and this is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So for those of you that have your background noise on, I would appreciate it if you could just select mute. If you have a question, want to participate, unmute. Perfect. So how the Medicare Advantage plans work is you leave traditional Medicare. You're no longer on Medicare A and B. And in this example, if somebody was to go into this plan, it would be a United Healthcare plan. United Healthcare is now responsible for managing your healthcare. And United Healthcare gets paid by Medicare. They use a figure of $14,000 a year to manage somebody's healthcare. So you think about it this way. If you're in a highly populated area like Palm Beach or Charlotte or Austin or Houston, then there's all of these people, and they try to get as many as they can into this plan, and they're getting paid from Medicare for each one, so they put attractive benefits in it. One of those benefits is they reduce your out-of-pocket expense. Remember the Doris situation? She had a bill for $17,000. Well, if she was in this plan, they cap your maximum out-of-pocket at $4,500. So one of the things you want to look at is, as I get into this, is you want to understand what your plan is. Are you on a Medicare Advantage plan? And an easy way to do that is pull out your card that you use to go to the doctors with and look at it. Most of them will say Medicare Advantage right on it. Humana, HMO, Medicare Advantage, Humana, PPO, Medicare Advantage. So what are you on? If you're just using your red, white, and blue card, then you're like Doris. But if you're using any other card, I expect you're in a Medicare Advantage plan. So the next step that you want to do, and I'm going to come back and go through some of these things that you want to look at, is you want to get this document that I'm looking at. And if you've got a crayon or a pen or something there, what I would write down is you want to get what's called the summary of benefits. It says it right at the top here. And this is a list of your benefits and what you're entitled to. Now, why I feel that's important as one of your first steps, many people have these plans. They have no idea how to use them. They don't know what's on them. They've got dental, they've got shopping credits. Some even have food cards. They're not using them. So step number one, get your summary of benefits. How do you get it? You can get it online, not real easy to find. You can turn your card over. You can call them, ask them to send it to you, and then you have it. Those are a couple options. If you're working with us in a benefit review, then we'll get it for you. But those are two ways that you can do it on your own. It's really important. Get it, save it, changes every year. So this one says 2020, right? There'll be another one that comes out, it'll be 2022 just came out for these. All right. Any questions so far? Because I'm going to go into the next layer of how to like analyze, figure out what you have, make sure you're using it. Yes, no, maybe? Okay. Either have you really confused, or you can't hear me, or I'm doing a good job. Who knows? Okay. So the key things that you want to look at is what is your maximum out-of-pocket? What are you on the hook for if you have a major medical event? This is $4,500. Now, I'm going to draw a parallel with another plan. This is a Humana plan, and this is in the same area, different company, right? See, it has 0 monthly premium and maximum out-of-pocket, 0, right? So if you have a major medical event and you're on this plan, you pay nada. So there is a difference in the two options, okay? Most people look at what it costs them to go to the doctors because that is what they're most familiar with. And so if you scroll down, you have your hospital section, then you'll have your doctor's sections. You pay 0 and 35 on this one. And over here, I think it is 0 and 0. So this one is 0 and 0, right? Okay, so anybody start to see the differences between these two plans? What's different already? Any volunteers?
Doctor pay, office visits.
Yep.
Hospital.
Yep. Okay. So what I'm showing you here is what I refer to as a traditional plan, which is, and I'll do this in a minute, when you go into Medicare.gov and you look up plans, you're going to see the traditional plans that are out there. If you are Medicare, Medicaid eligible, then you are entitled to what are called special needs plans, which are superior in their coverage. And that's what I am showing as my example here. Just bear with me. I want to make sure that I stay on my presentation agenda here and I don't go off on a tangent in respect of your time. Okay, so those are the differences there. Now, okay. When you're going about this and doing the comparison, and you scroll down here, in my opinion, the key areas that you want to look at are you want to look at the maximum out-of-pocket, how much it costs you to see your doctors, and this is really if you're only doctoring a lot. There are some people here that have they have a permanent disability, but it doesn't require them to doctor a lot. So this kind of goes back to what's the best plan for me if I don't need to see the doctors a lot. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. As you come down through the plan, there'll be emergency care. $90 for a visit is pretty standard. But if you are eligible for one of the dual eligible plans, it'll likely be $0. See, emergency is $0 there. Okay. So some of the other differences, hearing, vision, and especially dental. On this traditional plan, it has $1,000, which is good for dental, right? But on this one, I believe it's more. I think this one is $2,500. Routine dental, yeah, it's $2,500, right? Down here. So 1,000 is better than nothing, but 2,500 is great. And some of the other key benefits that you'll find are many people have a gym membership, but they don't understand how to use it. And I'm just going to speak to that briefly. Going to the gym, when you think of a gym, it's not for everybody, but you can do this in a fitness program at home. And some of the companies use a product called Silver Sneakers. This one is called Renew Active. I believe it's Renew Active. Yeah, Renew Active. And how it works is you can go to Renew Active, enter your zip code, and it will show you the participating locations. You can go to any of them. You bring in your card. You can go to the YMCA for water therapy. You can go to another facility for strength and flexibility. And you can go walk on a track at another one, so you can use it as much as you want. Many people don't know that. So it's a great way to get out, and hopefully COVID's going to settle down and people can use it more often. But you can also have an in-home component of this if you can't go or don't want to go. So in the back of your card, call member services and ask them, right?
Hello. This is an apology call.
Oh, we're getting some background noise from somebody. You guys are doing great. It's just the odd one. So thank you for taking care of that. And some of these special plans, they have other things like shopping credits. And the shopping credits are not cash, but they can help you, prevent you from spending money. I'm just going to look. Oh, here it is down here. Okay. So this one has $200 every quarter. So what that means is every quarter, if you're on this plan, you can go to their online pharmacy type website and you can get toothpaste, vitamins, Band-Aids, suntan lotion, all that stuff delivered to your house, right? So that's $800 a year of cash that you don't have to spend. If you can't use it all, stockpile it, stocking stuffers, stuff like that. Make sure you check your plan and you use your OTC if you want to save some money. This one has a $75 food card on it where you get an actual specific card. You can go into a grocery store, any grocery store pretty much, and the items are labeled. And those items that are specifically labeled, which is, bread and milk and eggs and items like that, $75 a month, $800 a year. So those are some of the things that are out there. Now, so what I've done is I've shown you the difference between a traditional plan and a special needs plan. I'm going to go over now and kind of give you a real life example of how to find these on Medicare.gov. And I'm going to go into, whoops, I don't want to do that. Even Medicare uses pop-ups. All right, I'm just going to get my zip code that I'm going to work with. And I've been using two examples in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, so I'm going to go back in there. So when you go, and I'm just going to back out, make sure that you understand how to do this. When you go in, you can create your own account, which may be a good thing for you to do, and enter your meds in there. and then keep them updated, because what that will do is it will, when the plans change and all that, you can just go in and see how your medications are kind of shifting with the different plans and what the cost is. As a general rule, there's not a huge difference, plan versus plan, a traditional plan, on your medication savings. The difference is if you qualify for a special needs plan, the Medicare, Medicaid example that I shared with you. So once you enter in and you're looking at the plans, you want to select Medicare Advantage. It's going to ask you for your zip code, which I put in, and then it's going to ask you for county, which this pulls up, and then if you get help from any other programs. I just select no so I can show you all of the programs, all right? And drugs, we're not going to do that right now. Okay. So here we go. Now, this view that comes up shows you the traditional plans, as I refer to them. There's 37 in this area. And when you scroll down here, you can go through all of the different plans, or you can start sorting them. Now, one way to sort them is by their rating. These plans are rated 1 to 5, 5 being the best plan that's available there. If there's a 5-star plan in your area, this is a tip for you, and you're not on it, and you want to be on it, you can move into that 5-star plan at any time. You don't need to wait for open enrollment October 15th to December 7th, okay? It's the same if you're Medicare, Medicaid eligible and you want to move into one of those plans. You can move into it at any time, and you can change it 4 times a year. Is that right? 4, yeah. So one sort here is I'll look at all of the 5-star programs in this area. Let's do a sift. Did it come up with any? Doesn't have any. So I'll adjust it again to 4 and up and see what happens. So you can get a feel for how people are rating the plans, and these are the stars right here. 4.5, that's a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. Humana plans are all here. And then it'll give you kind of a breakdown of some of the information that we covered. The plan benefits, let's move this around. Over here, vision, dental, hearing, primary, specialist, right? Then if you want to go in and look at in more details, you click on plan details. Now, when you click on plan details, you're not going to get the summary of benefits that you actually need, but you'll get a listing of some of the benefits, okay? So one of the things that, you know, if we're doing a benefit review, we're going to come in here and kind of get a feel for what the plans are in the area. And let's say that I'm interested and I think this one is going to be a possible fit. And then I find down here there is this Blue Freedom PPO, looks like it's going to be a fit. You can compare them by selecting that compare button, and then they will come up and you can look at them side by each, as they say en français. And then this lists the general benefits. Remember some of the items we talked about? $4,400 maximum out of pocket versus $7,500 or $11,300. Pretty big difference, right? And then all the other benefits. So that gives you a high-level idea on this. One of the other thing that I want to go through with you in the time that we have is many people don't know about special needs plans for conditions. And this is relatively new and becoming more and more popular. And I'll show you how it works. So biggest swing for people to recap this is people are paying for their Medicare Part B and they don't need to. That's one. People are entitled to a special needs plan and they're not on it. That's certainly another one. Those are the biggest areas of improvement. So I'm in hopes that this has given you some of the tools to understand what you're on, get your summary of benefits, make sure that you're using everything properly, understand how to go in and compare it to what's available out there. And I'd love to hear that you say, hey, you know, I was able to do this all on my own and I saved X amount of dollars. Now, if you would like to have a second party look at it, we do this work for free. It'd be great if you go and do it and say, hey, listen, this is what I found, this is what I think it's a good idea. And then you can contact us and we'll do a benefit review for you. Now, I want to have our own commercial here and talk to you folks next about the support service that we have in place for those that do choose to have us do a benefit review for free and do choose to have us enroll them in a plan for free. Just curious, so before I do that, has anybody had a continuing disability review lately? No?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Everything go all right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I did those as well.
Uh-huh.
I did as well.
Okay. Here's my first educational piece. I've certainly subscribed to our YouTube channel. We keep people up to date on it. But when the Joe Biden $14 billion budget was recently passed, there was $1.7 billion of that was allocated towards the Integrity Program, which is the review of Social Security disability recipients' benefits to determine if they're still eligible. And they've been doing $2.5 million a year or so. Through COVID, it went down a little bit. But with the increased money now, they're going up to $3.3 million a year. There's about 9 million people that are on disability benefits. So if you do the math, right, they're going to roll through a lot of people annually. And from what I've seen is even if you're, 65, 66, getting close to full retirement age, some people are still getting reviewed. If you're under 50, highly likely that you're going to be reviewed on a periodic basis. So my tip for this is to think about your disability benefits in the same way that you did, hopefully, when you went through the approval process. Stay on your benefits. You need to be treated for the conditions that are preventing you from being able to work. That's just really the general thing. Don't earn too much money. That's another thing. But if you get on your benefits, as some have, and they stop their treatment and they get a review, or they're not, they're not being treated enough, it really causes a problem. And this is where people are losing and coming out of pay status. And the numbers are public numbers. I've reviewed them on our YouTube channel. The amount of terminations is at an all-time high as a result of the reviews. So make sure that you're in treatment. What we do with the benefit reviews is we provide a benefit protection program for those of our members that choose to have us be their Medicare agent. And how that works, or a Medicare client, is if you find a plan or you come to us for a benefit review and you say, geez, you know what, that's great, I'd like to save that money, we enroll you into the plan. Could be with Humana, Aetna, United Healthcare, WellCare. Most markets we have 6 of the top companies. So it doesn't cost you anything for the review. It doesn't cost you anything to be enrolled. We're paid by the insurance companies. It's no secret. And what we do when and if you have a disability benefit review is you have access to our legal team, the same team that helps our members get approved. And the first part of your review, pretty easy. It's a one-pager, takes a few minutes. But if you have problems there and it gets denied and it goes to the next phase, that's where we definitely want to get involved if you're a client of ours. And what we'll do is the legal team will work with you. We'll request your medical records. We'll review them. We'll look at your limitations. We'll write a brief to Social Security. Tell them your story. Here's what you've been doing. Here's what you have. Here's why you can't work. Should be reinstated. We'll also have some to-do items for you where you bring forms to your doctors to have them filled out. But those are the major steps that make it go away. Now we can do that and not charge for it because we're getting paid from the insurance companies to keep you under benefit, right? So point is, you can do the review, take action all on your own if you want. If you want to have a second opinion, have us look at it. We'd be glad to do it. If we enroll you in the plan, you get an extra benefit, which is a benefit protection program. Or if you just say, you know what, this stuff is way too confusing, I want to have you do the whole thing, we'll be glad to consider doing that. Okay, so that's my section. Listen, folks, if you have not reviewed your benefits, please don't take this lightly if you're looking to maximize your benefits, because I shared at the beginning of the presentation $3,600 and something $3 is the average that we find. And if you don't look, you don't know. And the plans get better every year. Why? You think about it. These companies are getting paid $14,000 each to manage your health care. It's competitive. You look at the number of plans, I just showed you 37 in the market. So a new guy comes in, or you're a company and you want to get new market share, what do? Have a better plan, right? So they come out with new plans. All right, and I put in here some of the extra benefits that you might be entitled to. You can listen to that in the replay, but we've been through many of these. I just have a few closing tips for everybody. In addition to that, I thank everybody for coming out and taking time out of your schedule to join me today. But I would encourage you just to stay tuned in to your email. We have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. We're going to better organize that so that you'll have a printed version of everything that we produce soon in a blog format. And some information might not be relative to you. I totally get that. But if you can just look at it and spend 15 minutes a day or a week even on looking at what information is produced to help you out, it's going to make a difference. It's people that have these memberships here that don't use them that suffer, unfortunately. Okay, so make sure you read your email and stay up to date. We have a Facebook group that you can join that you can connect with other people. We're looking to grow that, create some interaction so you can converse, talk about other things, PG rated hopefully, and that can help you out. If you are listening today and you're not approved, thank you for hanging out for the whole show. Hopefully you'll be approved soon, and we would be glad to help you do that. If you need assistance, virtually every step of the way from thinking about it to just getting started to applied and waiting to denied, getting ready for your hearing, all that, we have sections all the way. Just contact us. And this also applies if you would like to have your benefits reviewed by us and you don't want to do it on your own, or you want to validate what you're doing. The number's up on the screen here. It's 844-202-5609. You can give that a call, and we'll help you out. So listen, in closing, I want to be respectful for your time. It's been a great audience. Another shout out to Chuck and Linda for winning the contest, first round of the Refer a Friend. And love to hear your feedback on this event. I do these like once a quarter. If they're beneficial, maybe we'll do them more often. Maybe we can have other people come out and speak, but love to hear what you have to say. So this has been recorded. The replay will be sent around. Wishing everybody a great day. Stay safe. Be well.
You too, Brian.
You too. Thank you.
You bet. Bye for now.